Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. Tonight we're diving into a topic I get asked about constantly, Siberian Huskies. You know them for their striking eyes, fluffy coats, and that famous "a woo woo woo." But let's be real, there are a ton of wild stories out there about these dogs. Most of what you've heard, not true. So tonight we're busting the top 5 biggest myths about Siberian Huskies. Grab a snack, get comfy, and let's get this myth-busting party started. Let's do it. Let's start with the classic question that almost every husky owner hears at least once. Are huskies just domesticated wolves? It's easy to see why people wonder. With their piercing blue eyes, thick double coats, and that wild wolf-like stare, huskies definitely look like they could have just stepped out of a snowy forest. But looks can be deceiving. While huskies might appear wild and mysterious, they are not wolves, nor are they part wolf. In fact, they're as much a wolf as your neighbor's golden retriever or the tiny chihuahua down the street. Their appearance is a result of selective breeding for traits that help them survive and thrive in harsh Arctic conditions, not because they're secretly plotting to join a wolf pack. Huskies and wolves do share a distant ancestor, but that's true for all dog breeds. Over thousands of years, humans have bred huskies to be loyal, hardworking, and social companions. The result? A dog that's energetic, playful, and loves being part of a family. Very different from the solitary, cautious nature of wolves. The Chukchi people of Siberia specifically bred huskies to pull sleds across vast, frozen landscapes and to live closely with their families. These dogs were trusted with children, relied upon for survival, and valued for their gentle temperament. Unlike wolves, huskies were never meant to be wild. They were bred to be partners. Today's huskies are known for their friendly, goofy personalities. They love to play, cuddle, and make their humans laugh with their silly antics. Wolves, on the other hand, are naturally shy, avoid people, and would never be caught snuggling on the couch or begging for treats. Modern DNA studies have put this myth to rest once and for all. Genetic testing shows that huskies are 100% dog. No more wolf than a poodle, a beagle, or a dachshund. Their wolf-like looks are just that, looks. Sure, huskies might howl like wolves, especially when they hear a siren or the ice cream truck rolling by. But that's just part of their quirky charm, not a sign of their wild ancestry. So the next time someone asks if your husky is a wolf, you can confidently say, "Nope, but he does a great impression when the ice cream truck comes by." Myth busted. Let's move on to the next one. Next myth, huskies can only live in the Arctic. That double coat? It's not just for winter. It's a built-in climate control system. The top layer reflects sunlight. The undercoat insulates in winter and sheds in summer. Never shave a husky. Their coat protects them from heat and sunburn. Of course, you still need to be smart. Provide shade, water, and avoid exercise in the heat. Huskies thrive in warm places like Florida and Arizona with proper care. Adjust routines, check pavement temps, and keep them cool. With the right precautions, huskies can live happily almost anywhere. The "only for snow" myth? Totally busted. Let's talk about a myth that just won't go away. People often assume huskies are aggressive or even dangerous dogs. Maybe it's their wolf-like looks, those piercing blue eyes, or their boundless energy that gives off the wrong impression. But the truth is, this stereotype couldn't be further from reality. If you look at their history, huskies were actually bred to be gentle, loyal companions for families living in harsh Arctic conditions. They weren't bred to be guard dogs or fighters. Instead, they were trusted to live closely with people, including children, and to work as part of a team. In fact, most huskies are famously friendly and outgoing. They're so sociable that they make terrible guard dogs. If a stranger comes to the door, your husky is more likely to greet them with a wagging tail and a big, goofy grin than to chase them away. Some owners even joke that their husky would help a burglar find the valuables. Of course, like any breed, huskies need proper socialization and training. Any dog can develop behavioral issues if neglected, mistreated, or left unsocialized. But aggression simply isn't a natural husky trait. They're more likely to want to make friends with everyone they meet, dogs, people, and even strangers at the park. That said, huskies do have a strong prey drive, which means they might be very interested in chasing small animals like squirrels, rabbits, or even cats. It's important to supervise them around smaller pets and keep them on a leash in open areas just to be safe. What huskies really crave is companionship. They're pack animals at heart, happiest when they're surrounded by their family, whether that's people, other dogs, or both. If left alone for long periods, they can become anxious or stressed. When a husky is bored or lonely, they might act out by howling, chewing, or getting into mischief. But this isn't aggression. It's just their way of expressing frustration or boredom. With enough exercise, attention, and love, these behaviors are easy to manage. So what's the real husky like? They're goofy, affectionate, and endlessly playful, more likely to smother you with kisses than show any sign of aggression. The myth of the aggressive husky? Completely busted. You can't train a husky, they're too stubborn. Heard that one? It's a phrase that gets tossed around a lot, especially by people who have never actually spent time with these amazing dogs. The truth is, huskies have a reputation for being headstrong, but that doesn't mean they're impossible to train. In fact, their so-called stubbornness is often just a sign of their intelligence and independence. Huskies are smart, independent thinkers, not stubborn brutes. They're constantly analyzing situations, figuring out what's in it for them, and deciding if your request is worth their time. This makes them different from breeds that are eager to please, but it doesn't make them untrainable. Their sled dog roots required them to make decisions, not just follow orders. Out in the Arctic, huskies had to think for themselves, sometimes even ignoring commands if it meant keeping the team safe. That independent streak is still strong in today's huskies. Training a husky means making it fun, interesting, and rewarding. If you turn training into a game, use treats, toys, and lots of praise, you'll see just how quickly a husky can learn. They thrive on mental stimulation and variety. Repetitive drills, they'll get bored fast. If you repeat the same command over and over, your husky will likely check out and find something more interesting to do. They crave novelty and challenge. Keep sessions short and positive. 5 to 10 minutes is often enough. End on a high note, and your husky will look forward to the next session instead of dreading it. Consistency is key. Everyone in the house needs to follow the same rules. If one person lets the husky get away with something, it sends mixed signals and slows down progress. Make sure the whole family is on board. And recall, huskies love to run, so don't trust them off-leash in open areas. Their instinct to explore and chase is strong, and even the best-trained husky might ignore a recall if something exciting catches their eye. They're not impossible to train. They just need a creative, patient owner. Try new techniques, use clickers, or introduce puzzle toys to keep things fresh and engaging. When you earn their respect, it's incredibly rewarding. The bond you build through positive, respectful training is like no other. So the idea of a stubborn, untrainable husky? That's just a myth. With the right approach, huskies can be amazing, responsive companions, full of personality and eager to learn. Last myth. Huskies are low energy, and a walk around the block is enough. Reality. Huskies are endurance athletes, bred to run for miles. A short walk is just a warm-up. They need at least an hour of real exercise daily. Without enough activity, they get bored and destructive. Think chewed furniture and backyard craters. Mental stimulation is just as important. Puzzle toys, training games, and sports keep their minds busy. If you're not active, a husky isn't the breed for you, and that's okay. But if you want a running buddy or adventure partner, they're perfect. The couch potato husky myth? Completely false. And there you have it. 5 huge husky myths, totally busted. These dogs are smart, loving, energetic, and deserve to be understood. What other myths have you heard? Drop them in the comments. I love reading your stories and questions. If you learned something new, hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more myth-busting fun. Thanks for hanging out. Give your pets a hug for me. Until next time, stay cool. See you soon.